Welcome back to another edition of the Extra Point. I'm Mazzi, that's Live Zone. I'm happy we're talking about football. Live Zone, what's going on with you? How you feeling? How you doing? Lots moving. What's good?
We got a lot to talk about here on the Extra Point. I'm pumped about it. I'm here for it. Let's get into it. What we got?
Absolutely. We have all seen the moves in this short off season already for the NFL. A lot of big names moving teams, switching coaches, head coaches going to different teams, unrelevant teams becoming possibly relevant, relevant teams selling out to rebuild. Lots of movement. We're focusing in on the quarterbacks that have swapped teams and the quarterback races that we see might be up for debate here in the future very soon. We're going to look at the Pittsburgh Steelers starting off here, acquiring Russell Wilson, a great addition, and then a few weeks later also acquiring Justin Fields. Great pickups on paper. Those are some big hitting names. Live Zone. What are you thinking about the moves? What do you think about the battle that's going to be going on? Do you think there is a battle? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean this is probably the two best quarterback moves that we have seen this full time in the free agency. Pittsburgh getting two quarterbacks after the really iffy season, 50-50 season with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph last year. I think that this is probably the best quarterback competition that we got. If it's me looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm definitely going with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson doesn't have problems or isn't young and not developing. No, he's here. He's here to play. He's here to win games, and he's here to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. He seems to be all in. But Justin Fields as a second option, it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. We saw this with Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi in the Patriots uniforms last year and the year before that. So looking at it, I mean, on paper, it looks awesome. Having two of, I think, is a top 10 quarterbacks in the league on the same team. Can't go wrong with it. But, at the same time, you know, all these egos and everything, they come together and they don't always mesh up. So we shall see what happens in Pittsburgh. But if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going with Russell Wilson.
It's a tough decision, but a great position to be in for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got two great quarterbacks coming into town. There is definitely going to be possibly a quarterback competition for the position. Personally, if I was the Steelers, I would utilize both in a combined system, almost like a two goalie move like the Bruins do in the NHL. But I would have Russell Wilson be taking the majority of those snaps, maybe 20 to 25 for Russell Wilson, give Justin Fields 10 to 15 in a game to give a more of a running dynamic. We all know Russell Wilson can scramble out to the side and make a deep pass on target to a receiver. He isn't getting any younger, so that's only going to deteriorate over time. If you can say, hey, Russell, we're not asking you to go out there and win it with your feet. Go out there and win it with your arm, but evade the pressure. And we'll let Justin Fields go out there. And he can also sling it down the field, but he's more of a run option that can add a little depth to it. Having Najee Harris there, I mean, George Pickens, their offense is dangerous. Pittsburgh's in a great position. Do I think the Steelers are ultimately going to end up going with Russell Wilson as the starter day one? Yes. Do I think Justin Fields could possibly take that over? There's a slim possibility, but I really think it's Russell Wilson's job to lose more than Justin Fields' job to win. So if Russell comes out rusty, not looking like he should, I think it's up for debate who could be the quarterback on that team. Either way, though, they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be a force to reckon with in the AFC once again. Honestly, could see these guys in the AFC Championship coming this year, without a question.
Now, another thing to add in with Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson's only signed for 1 year, so it could be a little gap in between, given the rookie quarter, or not rookie, but given the young quarterback a little bit of leeway to learn off of Russell Wilson and then go further with Justin Fields. I could see something like that happening. But it is also said that the Steelers do want to sign Russell Wilson long term. So it's an iffy situation in Pittsburgh, but I think that they're golden for the future and golden for right now, honestly. So we shall see.
Russell Wilson better be getting that bag in that contract. He better not be leaving any money on the table. I don't think he'll make that mistake again. But I could definitely see there being a mentorship type role here for Russell Wilson. One last dance type situation. Go out there with these weapons and this defense as well. We haven't even touched on getting Patrick Queen and everything of that nature. They're going to be on point. They're going to hold teams under 20 points in a lot of games, I believe. And that's going to be very helpful for the likes of Justin Fields and Russell Wilson and make it that much easier for them to win games, and close games at that. So Pittsburgh is in the best position, I think, of any team besides the Kansas City Chiefs, because I just don't know why you cannot bet against them for any reason whatsoever. And they went and they got a wide receiver, but that is something else we need to talk about at another time. Hollywood Brown landing in Kansas City. So looking forward, we have the Las Vegas Raiders up next for our quarterback competition discussion here. Aiden O'Connell, rookie season last year, coming back for year two this year. Gardner Minshew coming over from the Colts. We have a little bit of a quarterback battle, I believe, in this one. O'Connell not hasn't proved himself completely yet. He looks good. Gardner Minshew had about 5 years under his belt, played about 60% of the games, 60% of the possible games he could have played in that amount of time. Doesn't have the best stats, but doesn't have the worst live zone. Do you think Gardner Minshew can take this position away from Aiden O'Connell? Do you think the Raiders are going with the young blood? Interested to know. Let me know.
All right. So I think actually they're gonna go with Gardner. The reason why is the veteran experience. What he did in Indianapolis last year shows that he has some potential still left in him for the future. With Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers right next to him, you don't got Josh Jacobs anymore, unfortunately. But you look to the draft for another running back. I like what I have for Gardner Minshew around him right now. If he can do a 50-50 season, right next to Michael Pittman, I think that he can do even better with one of the best wide receivers in the game. So I think the Raiders will make the bad choice with going with Gardner Minshew. But at the end of the day, I do think that O'Connell is your future in Las Vegas, and I think that you need to play him more to get him up in the rankings and get him the time that he needs on the field. So for me, I think that the Raiders are going to make the bad decision to start Minshew, but it is Minshew's game to, or position rather, to lose, and I do think he will lose it by the end of the season.
Interesting. Do you think the Raiders at all might trade Aiden O'Connell for any reason whatsoever?
No, I think that they've kept him for a reason. I thought what he did last year proved that he could play in this league at this competition at this level. Yes, he didn't do the best, but he was still manageable, and it was his rookie season. So looking at that, I mean, yeah, I think he has potential, and I would still keep him. Do I think that they could trade him? Maybe for a draft pick, but if they do, it's going to be a bad decision with the draft picks that you could probably get for him. But at the end of the day, I think Aiden O'Connell will be on the Raiders for this season.
There you have it from Live Zone Personally, over here, I think this is a true quarterback battle. I think it's whoever is game ready and time ready and knows the system, fits the system, understands the system, is vibing in the system, who the players are getting along with, who the coach is getting along with. I think it truly comes down to that once we finish the preseason or get up to the preseason after training camps and whatnot. It all depends on what is going on with the team. I believe Aiden O'Connell can get it done. I believe Gardner Minshew can get it done when it comes to the job position. Do I think that they can get the job done in Super Bowl aspirations? No, I do not think these are the quarterbacks to get it you to the promised land. I believe that Aiden O'Connell can make it to the playoffs and get a playoff win. Do I think that Gardner Minshew at the end of the day could possibly get you two playoff wins more than I think Aiden O'Connell could? Maybe, but still, it's neck and neck. Same tier level for me, with experience and inexperience, just skill wise, setup wise, level wise. They do have a good team next to them. Derek Carr couldn't do anything with this team, obviously under different coaching and a slightly different roster, but still main core guys were there. I don't know if that says more about the team or Derek Carr, but moving forward, I do think if it were me personally, I would be going with Aiden O'Connell. I've seen enough from Gardner Minshew in his career to make it so I don't think he is capable of reaching that promised land. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I think he's a decent quarterback, but he's a strong backup in this league. He is not a starting quarterback for any team. Aiden O'Connell still has the possibility to be that here only going into year two with a promising rookie year. That's my takes on the matter.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you 110%. If I'm the Raiders, I'm looking to, develop Aiden O'Connell into a starting quarterback because there's still time there. He showed potential last year when he played when Jimmy Garoppolo was out. So in my case, I say Aiden O'Connell is your guy 110%.
There we have it. We have another quarterback battle that maybe isn't a battle, but more of a question. The San Francisco 49ers have acquired Joshua Dobbs, obviously losing to Kansas City in overtime in the Super Bowl. Devastating for the team. Brock Purdy about one drive away from getting them to the promised land in this century. Um, Joshua Dobbs, coming from Minnesota, won the hearts of many people in the NFL of his just pure grit, heart, and way he plays, and ability to pick things up fast with a smile on his face, ready to go, franchise type quarterback, has the skills to back it up, just needs the system. Is there any chance in this training camp offseason that Joshua Dobbs takes the starting position away from Brock Purdy?
Absolutely not. And I'm going to use the word game changer here, like I've been saying. Brock Purdy is a game changer. He is your quarterback. He is your guy to lead you to future Super Bowls in the future. But, at the end of the day, Joshua Dobbs, he's just a backup just in case Brock Purdy goes down, in my opinion. I don't think that there's any competition there. I think that they're going all in with Brock Purdy, and they're saying, okay, well, we need a little insurance just in case he gets hurt. And that's what we're seeing here, because if it's one team that will have a quarterback that will get hurt, it will be the San
The San
Francisco
Francisco
49ers.
49ers.
So, I think that's just a little insurance thing just in case. They're kind of just backing him up just in case he gets hurt.
Yeah, and also maybe get him some snaps when they're up by 30 points on some of these teams next year, as they often are come the regular season. I have to agree with you completely. Joshua Dobbs is not competing for that first string quarterback position. Brock Purdy has that locked up in San Francisco. Everybody loves him out here. He's playing the right way. He's playing right in the system. He's doing everything right. There's just a bad man in the AFC named Patrick Mahomes that doesn't allow these very talented and strong quarterbacks to get over that hump and win those championships. And that's just how it is. That's how the cookie crumbles. But, I still think San Francisco is going to be a force to reckon with next year. Almost pretty much write them in for sure making it to the second round of the playoffs. Um, a conference battle, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Moving forward with that, we have the Eagles, a formidable matchup to the 49ers, who also have a quarterback dilemma or competition. Maybe not a dilemma, possibly neither. You got Jalen Hurts coming off the season last year, losing 6 of the last 7 games that he played. Um, Not looking like it's jiving in Philly. Kelsey retiring. Your team is still stacked. I will give you that. You have weapons on running back, receiver, defense. Your offensive line is still strong. Uh, you're structurally good. But you have Kenny Pickett's coming in. Back up to Jalen Hurts. He played in the Steelers system. I personally did not think he was a strong quarterback at all, but people are saying there could be a battle, maybe working both of them in during the game live zone. How do you think Philadelphia is going to react to this quarterback battle? Is it a battle at all?
I don't think it's a battle. I think it's more of a teamwork type of thing. Listen, Jalen Hurts is a top five quarterback in the league right now. There is no question about it. And if you have him outside of your top five, you are insane. But this is the same thing, I think, as the San Francisco 49ers. Just backing him up just in case he gets hurt because he does run a lot. But at the same time, I could see them sprinkling in a little bit of Kenny Pickett, kind of like how the New Orleans Saints did with Taysom Hill. But other than that, yeah, I think the job is clearly Jalen Hurts, and they're not moving on from him anytime soon.
I gotta agree with you completely. Jalen Hurts is your guy, man. Gotta give it to him. Got the Super Bowl done. Uh, if you move on from him, you're crazy in my eyes. Got a great mentality, great guy, great stand-up guy, great leader, knows how to run the team, knows how to run an offense, can throw it, can run, does every little piece right. Is the first man there and the last man to leave. Jalen Hurts is the guy. He is a franchise quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and if they move on from him, it'll be another mistake that Philly did. Um, Moving forward, we have two more quarterback battles to talk about. We're gonna hop over to Cleveland. I'm gonna save our boy for last in Jacksonville. So the Cleveland Browns pick up Jameis Winston and then also go out and grab Tyler Huntley. Live zone. Do you think Huntley can get it from Winston? Or do you think it's Jameis all day? What if he goes out there and throws 10 interceptions in preseason? We've seen it from Winston. What are we thinking?
I think this is the closest quarterback competition that we're seeing other than Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. This one I could see being like a Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi situation where maybe Winston plays the first few games, but then after that comes Huntley and he gets his chance finally after being a backup for Lamar Jackson for so long. That's what I'm seeing. I like the pickup with Huntley. I think Huntley can win the job. I think that Huntley is very underrated and he hasn't gotten the chance to break out yet. But this is his chance right here. And I think if it's going to be a guy to do it, it will be Huntley to break through past Winston.
Yeah, on paper, this is my favorite quarterback race. You got Jameis Winston coming out there. He's going to sling it left and right, and you know it, and he's going to lead that team. Talk about that jumbo shrimp and crab legs and lobster. Man, he's going to come out there, tell him what's good. We got to get it done. Tyler Huntley, though, very underrated, as you said, behind Lamar Jackson for a long time in Baltimore. I think he's a great quarterback as well. I think he's hungry for another shot. Cleveland Browns got a great roster to work with for both of these quarterbacks. I like both of them in their system, honestly. I think it's the closest quarterback race as well, between good quarterbacks. And I'm very excited to watch who gets the Cleveland Browns job, come fall.
Especially when they got options now, because remember, they just signed Jerry Judy after they traded for him, so they signed him long term. So now they have Amari Cooper, they have Jerry Judy, they have Njoku, they have Chubb coming back, they have Kareem Hunt. They got options, so it should be a fun season for a Cleveland Browns fan right now.
That's a scary team. Hopefully, Cleveland. We had Detroit's Cinderella run last year. Maybe it's the Cinderella run for the Cleveland Browns this year. What if we saw a Cleveland Brown Detroit Lions NFC Championship? I mean, Super Bowl.
I would not mind it. I would not mind it. You know, I'm definitely for it. Do I think that they're going to get past the Kansas City Chiefs? You better hope they lose in the first or second round. But no, I wouldn't mind it. But you know, my heart would be in Detroit. So,
Hot take of the NFL season from me is Kansas City loses first round next
oh,
year.
that's a bad hot take.
That is a hot take. Don't print it. It's not facts. I got to do more research on that. I don't know about that. We got one more quarterback battle here for you, and it's our boy. We love to slander his name. A man who is not mentioned around New England anymore. We forgot about him already. I forgot how to spell his name. Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. Live zone.
If he gets another starting job, I will be infuriated. I don't think that there is any chance that you see Mac Jones coming on the field as a starter on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I will say when it comes to injury, that could happen as well with this team because Trevor Lawrence, like I said, does run a lot, and it is inevitable when it comes to running quarterbacks. But you know, Mac, I mean, he's not no answer. He's just, you know, in my eyes, he should be a third stringer on the free agents list, maybe on the practice squad, because I think that there's many more people deserving other than Mac Jones. Yes, people will say that I'm hating on Mac Jones because I am a New England Patriots fan. I get it. But at the end of the day, I've seen how he plays. I've seen his progression movement. I've seen his clock management. I've seen the way he controls the offense. I've seen everything that I needed to see to tell you that Mac Jones is not the guy. But at the end of the day, you know, maybe I'll get a little Patriots jersey with number 10 on it, and on the back it says "Told you so." But we'll find out at the end of the season.
Oh God. I gotta agree with you. It's Trevor Lawrence's job, front and center. It's his job. As for Mac Jones, the Jaguars better hope that Trevor Lawrence stays healthy all year. And if Mac Jones has to come in and maintain, I don't even think he's capable of that. He will tank that team faster than the Titanic did. So I don't know the future of Mac Jones. I really truly don't want to see him on an NFL roster anymore. People are going to say I'm hating because I'm a New England Patriots fan, and I am because I am a New England Patriots fan. I think that he is washed. He's garbage. Can't come in and lead a team. He's immobile. Can't throw downfield accurately. Even if he has targets open, he's not going to hit them. Terrible game management. Can't win in the close games. I don't know. What else do you want me to check off in the negativity box? There's not really much that I could put in the positive except, he doesn't do anything too crazy, and I can't even say he seems like a good person, but that's my own personal beliefs. Never met the guy, so can't really say anything more than that. I just don't think Mac Jones is built to be a current NFL QB in this league. Uh, Maybe if it was pure pocket passers way back when and he could just stand there and throw the ball, it would be a different discussion, but you need to have accuracy, mobility, ability to withstand hits, ability to play through pressure, game management. You need a lot of qualities that he just doesn't have in today's NFL.
And not even just that, this is the big problem with Mac Jones. Mac Jones doesn't know how to run an offense. He doesn't know how to run plays. He doesn't know how to be a leader in those plays. He doesn't know where people should be. He doesn't realize where he should be passing the ball. His progressions, there's this certain thing called a progression when you have option one, option two, option three, option four, and he passes the option four before he looks at option one. So that's the problem with Mac Jones. But another thing that I want to mention, getting off the Mac Jones situation, because it is Trevor Lawrence's job. I think that is clear, pinpoint right there for you. I know our buddy Jeff Dawson from E.
ECSI.
ECSI. I know that he bets a lot, and he talks about betting all the time. So I have a question for you. Is this season going to be harder betting on quarterbacks than it was last year? Because it was already unpredictable last year.
I think betting on the NFL this year is going to be very difficult till about week 8, 9 in the NFL because I think there are a lot of moving parts for a lot of different teams in a lot of different uh, divisions and conferences. I think there's a lot of different matchups that we're going to see, and it's just a giant shakeup to the league. So yeah, I think betting on it will be harder. But if you stay with Jeff's strategy over there and just bet the totals of the game, usually they hit by the second quarter or third quarter. So that's the way to bet. Don't bet your fantasy. Bet on that.
Yeah, I agree completely, especially with this league and how
Team totals.
how 70% of the league has shaken up. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, I was just getting it down for this season. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I feel you on that. I definitely agree with you. I agree with Jeff. If you're going to bet on a player, just make sure the player is a lock and not in a quarterback competition or a wide receiver competition, getting touches, etc. But yeah.
That has been our extra point. It's the off season, so we fit it in when we can. So glad we got to talk about some NFL news, though. It's Mazzi always. Hey, we are getting the merch ready. It's coming through the pipeline. We are working to get it out. We have multiple podcasts coming out on the TCN platform of networks. We have news, wrestling, sports history, and of course our sports show. Check it out, subscribe, like, comment, do what you will with the content. Let us know how we can be better, do better content, and be better for you guys. We do go live for a sports game weekly on TikToks. Our TikToks will be in the description at the bottom. We try to pick 2 games, but we usually get to 1 or 2 during the week. We are also going to be going live during our streams so we can have fan questions of when we record this podcast. So, lots and lots going through Live Zone. Thank you, as always, for being here with me. What do you got to say to the people?
Just there's a lot coming, a lot of fast things that are going to hit you like a light in TCN. So just stay tuned for it and have some fun with it.